Mariah Carey stars in what can be described as the frittata version of 8 Mile. We saw glitter, so you know what that means.
Now it's time for How to Discriminate. We're gonna have a good time, celebrate some failure, not just be a hater, cause you know you wonder how to discriminate. Let's wallow in the mediocrity of subpar art. Perhaps we'll find the answer to the question, how did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth! And hello, Largo, Los Angeles! We are very excited to be here in Los Angeles at our LA home, Largo, at the Coronet Theater. We have a great crowd tonight. We have an amazing movie to talk about. And we have a very special episode of How Did This Get Made, because tonight, it's How Did This Get Made All-Stars. That's right. I am hosting tonight. I am Paul Scheer. But tonight, I will be joined by Casey Wilson. Give it up for Casey Wilson. Mr. Adam Scott. And a special guest, Mr. Dan Levy. Give it up for Dan. All right.
Okay.
Glitter, glitter. Here we go. Well, this movie is a movie that I've heard about for a long time.
So you hadn't seen this?
I had not seen this movie. I own the DVD, but never worked up the courage to watch it.
It's very hard to find this movie.
Yes.
You can't. It's only available on Amazon for $3.99, and it's an hour and 47 minutes long.
$4.99 for HD, y'all.
Powerful people have done a lot to make sure that you don't see this.
Yes, yes.
A lot of people say the reason why this movie didn't do well is because of September 11th. Because it was released the week after. But has nothing to do with that. It is a terrible movie nonetheless.
How convenient for them.
Like, I've literally read multiple
Beautiful
reports.
timing.
Mariah Carey numerous times says 9/11 was the downfall of the movie.
Oh, no.
But it takes place.
Shame
It's such a
on you.
New York movie that, you know, the last thing you do want to see after 9/11 is Mariah Carey representing her city.
I will say that someone pointed out to me that even though it takes place in New York, there are many Toronto landmarks throughout the movie.
Very Canadian.
That they shot it in Toronto. You would think they would have the budget to shoot this in New York.
They had $22 million.
Yeah.
What about Madison Square
$22
Garden?
million.
$22 million.
$22 million.
$22 million, and it made a whopping 2.5 opening weekend. And then worldwide, 5.2.
Wow, it looks like it was made for like 5 shits.
And you had the HD version.
Yeah.
Because it's an 80s movie, but there's nothing 80s about it.
Nothing.
At all.
Nothing.
Nothing.
That was and they don't even clearly delineate that it is the 80s. They don't put like a graphic up to say like 1980.
Well, that one guy was in a silk-
1983.
Oh, does it? Okay. I didn't have the HD version.
But it's very blurry. But
And that one guy was in the silk shirt with the CDs all over it.
That's true.
right.
That was pretty clear.
But it's also Mariah Carey, so you're watching it, you're like, oh, this is a 90s movie. It has to be.
It doesn't feel
There's
like
nothing. They just paid no attention. Like, I almost think they decided to say it was in the 80s to make it seem more interesting, because like afterwards they
like,
decided
this needs
that.
to be a period piece.
the biggest
It has to be.
clue that's in the 80s is they just play that rap song like "Don't push me, 'cause I'm on the." Like that's the only thing I knew.
People have cordless telephones. In 1983, people weren't like that. Wasn't happening.
No. As a matter of fact, he's on the cover of Spin, and Spin didn't even come out until 1985. So,
Yes. See.
But There is the character named Chili D, which is a pretty 80s name.
It is. It has a pretty good name. This movie has all the stuff that I love, which is like things that don't ever exist, like the 80s clubs in this movie. Like someone's doing semaphore, like in the club. Another guy has like a Lion King, like shield.
That's right.
Like that never happened.
There's also a white DJ, which you don't really see all the time.
Right, and there's this club that is a dance club packed with thousands of people. There's a DJ who's also a world-famous record producer, and he has the power to break artists at a dance club.
Yeah.
Like, he gets the... Can we just start talking
Yeah,
about
please.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's get into it.
He's DJing, like, the full thing with the headphones.
When the tape comes up to him.
Someone gives him the tape.
Yeah.
Thank you, Casey.
You're welcome.
He
Don't drop it.
He listens to it for 3 seconds
2. I think it was 2 seconds.
and says, "This is amazing. Who's this?" And
It's Spice, right? I mean,
the
Silk. It's Silk.
Padma Lakshmi's character, right?
by the way,
Silk.
Padma Lakshmi did not know she was an actress until this movie.
No.
And really want to spin off of her character and Terrence Howard. I want to see
Yeah.
their lives
Yes.
together.
By the way, how upset is Terrence Howard that he's in this movie? This must fucking kill him.
But he's like super good in it.
Yeah.
He is
He
giving
really
it
is.
his all. He really is giving it
Yeah.
everything he has.
He's
So
trying.
is Padma.
He's trying way too hard in this movie.
You know what, you guys? I think Top Chef is her spinoff. I think that's the character.
Silk didn't make it in that business and she moved
Right.
over.
No, but he gets the tape, puts it in, listens to it for 2 seconds, and then says, "Oh, this is great." And then right then, he introduces Silk and the girls, and the camera pans over, and they start performing for the club.
Yeah.
They're ready to go. They're ready to
Like,
go.
it makes no fucking sense.
He just had to listen to them for a second before he saw them.
Yeah.
Right.
And by the way, it wasn't like a dance song. It was kind of like a ballady song, right? I
Right.
mean, it wasn't like a song that you'd be like, let's put this on in the club and people are going to go crazy.
No.
Thank God Silk was there, because imagine if he was like, "This is great." Fuck, they're not here.
Exactly.
What are we gonna do?
Well, it just goes back to the whole movie is suspect because Terrence Howard originally finds Mariah Carey and her two girls, the backup.
The brat.
They're just dancing. Like they're just
Debrat
they're-
playing
Right.
Louise.
And the other one playing the
Roxy.
other one.
Roxy and Louise.
Rox.
Wait, now who was Roxy? Who was
Roxy is the other one.
Okay.
The brat. Yeah. The one that is not the brat. But
Both spirited performances.
Yeah.
I have some questions about them too. But I want to.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Yeah.
They were really giving it their all.
And
they
I
also
felt
got-
like I should have was in a time machine. I would have been cast as the other one. And I thought she gave a lot to that. I thought they both gave their heart and soul.
Oh, I felt like
I
they
didn't
were
mind
like
their
the
performances.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of this Hamlet.
It's like comic relief.
I have a note here that says, "Are her friends retarded?"
How about the
I
lingering
wrote down-
shot of Debrat when she was just dancing alone in the club?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
And they kept the camera on her for like 50. Even she was like, "Get move along."
I have the exact timestamp of that. When that happened.
2012.
I like when they leave the club and the brat and the other one and Mariah are walking down the fake New York streets and there's like blah 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 and she's like stop and they're like blah 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 and then there's a big black extra who's like following them and you're waiting for them to get mugged. It seemed like that was gonna happen. The whole time like, oh fuck, they're all gonna get killed right now. That's why people hate this movie. And then the really like scary dude just goes and just walks across the street.
Nope, too bad.
The movie would have been so much better. But like, it was so odd because it looked like Terrence Howard was just going to watch three girls dance at a club. He's like, "Hey, I want you guys to be backup dancers." Like, no, we're not into that. We're doing our own thing. But I wasn't quite sure
Right.
what their own thing was.
Yeah, I have Terrence Howard and Padma ask them to be backup, but like from what? Why would he ask them to do that from what he saw?
Well, that was my question. It's like they're just dancing, and I didn't even understand what club would give that an outlet. Like,
Right.
if you guys want to come and dance on stage.
Because they were backstage, like they have dressing rooms, but
Yeah.
all they were doing was dancing with thousands of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the camera was focused on Mariah the first
Yes.
time you
Yeah.
saw her in that leopard thing. You know, that must have been maybe from his point of view.
But she
Yeah.
literally,
POV.
His POV.
but she said, Mariah's like, we don't want to be a backup because we're doing our own thing, but we never established what that was.
At all.
Because it didn't seem to me like Mariah wanted to become a singer.
Ever in the whole movie.
Yeah. Even
As a child, she did not want to go up on stage.
No.
Yeah, she was emotionally scarred. They were making her.
Well, her house almost got burnt down by her dumb mom.
I wanted that
That's
mom.
my favorite scene. When the mom said this, it was just so, like every other scene took about 5 hours. That scene, the mom was like, what?
Yeah. Totally.
But,
1 second.
but the credits keep on going. Do you notice that?
Forever.
Like, the credits are going like an hour 10 into the movie.
Yeah.
It's like director of photography. I'm like, what? Why is this happening still?
I wanted
No
that
one should take credit for this movie.
I wanted that mom to really be on fire. I wanted her to run into like Mariah's room, like ah, just like in flames.
Burned
Yeah,
her face, just
something.
burned. Something more.
And I guess maybe this is me paying a little bit of not that much attention to the top. They didn't really establish her as being like an addict, or was she an addict?
No, she
No,
just
she
seemed
was
like-
She's a
smoker.
great singer.
Yeah.
She
a
was a-
smoker,
It
right?
seemed like she
really-
was just sleepy.
She had a
Yeah.
Yes. She has a smoking and a sleeping problem.
She was addicted to cigarettes. It's a really, it's very addictive.
Don't smoke.
Don't
I guess
smoke.
Is what they're
We'll take away
I
your
didn't
kids if you
understand.
smoke.
It's like she's following her dreams. I didn't see her try to get another job anywhere else. I'm like,
No.
this selfish mom was just like, I gotta sing, but I can't take care of you. It was
Right.
just strange.
Oh,
like the house burnt down, and then she's like, "Bye."
Yeah. And then when she gets to the orphanage, I mean, those kids were,
Okay.
I feel like they acted as well as the brat and the
Wait.
other one.
Yeah.
That was one of my...
That was Debrat and Louise.
yeah, not they weren't acting. That was their
No.
characters. Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Richard Linklater. They shot the first part and then came back.
Yeah, they're shooting an installment
Yeah.
now.
They're still
amazing.
shooting the movie right now. But when they came over to her, and I think it was...
They were very friendly.
They were very friendly right away, but the first question was, are you Puerto Rican? And
Right.
And she said, no, I'm mixed. And they said, okay, I guess I like you then.
End of conversation.
End for conversation. We're going to be a trio.
We got this going on. We have a plan to do something that is undefined, and I will never say.
What's it going to be? Cut to them being sluts in a club in the 80s.
We're going to be endlessly loyal to each other for no reason and pertaining to what we don't know. Let's get busy doing that.
And just a sidebar, the scene with Debrat and the other one when they were trying on clothes and watching the news report, that was alternately like she's watching the news and then it's very comic turns with the other one coming out so quickly in different outfits. Is anyone
I
with
remember.
me?
Yes, I
That's
remember.
mattering.
That, yeah.
Thank you.
When was that?
Hard to say. It was just somewhere
It's
in the
kind
middle.
of middle, right, when they're watching.
But it seemed like a long improv between the two of them that the director was like, this is gold.
Keep going.
That's something that Casey brought up backstage that I think is true, that it seemed like there was a lot of loose improv-y
Well, the brat
ness
brings
to the
that.
movie.
The brat is
That's-
someone
yeah.
who's going to improvise.
Look, you hired DeBrat.
You're going to get it.
Well,
You're getting
I mean,
Debrat.
and
Off the
I looked up the guy who played Dice.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Max
but,
Beasley.
Beasley.
Yeah. But he is a known improviser.
Really?
No, he's not. He's definitely
I
not.
thought for
anyone
a
a known
quarter of the movie
improviser?
that Dice was just Jim Brewer.
Just waiting for him to do the goat man in the middle of the club.
Not to brag, but I was in a movie with Dice with Max Beasley.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you guys
Listening?
talk about glitter?
Not to brag. Not to brag. Maybe you've.
But
I don't know. Maybe you've heard of it. It's,
Talk about
What was it called?
Dice.
What was it? What was it?
Movie called Torque.
Oh.
Sorry.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, look, you don't have to brag about it. You know.
No, I'm not. I'm not bragging about it.
You know,
I'm just looking at my papers.
I'm looking at my notes.
But to
I
talk
have
about
notes on
Dice,
here.
are we going to see a clip of Dice right now?
I'm going to show what is people often called the meet cute, I guess. Like this is like when Dice and Mariah Carey was rocking a great bicycle, like Lance Armstrong hat.
So weird.
Very
Again, not
80s,
80s
very
at all.
Not 80s.
Not 80s. 90s.
But not
Fresh
anything.
Prince.
I kind of felt like they told Mariah Carey this movie takes place in the 80s. She's like, "Oh, I won't dress badly. I'll dress like I'll wear what I wear normally."
Right.
Like, oh, all right, sure. Someone also mentioned this, and I didn't notice this, but that she has like a silver streak on her.
On her shoulder.
Yes.
At one point. What the fuck is that all about?
According to all the research I was able to find, no one knows. There's
Really?
not no one has been able to
Did you
put it
notice
together. The closest that we got was because Mariah wanted a silver streak on her. Like that was it.
But at one point it's here, right?
Yes,
Is
yeah.
that where it is in the whole movie? It moves?
It moves? Is that the glitter?
That's glitter.
That's the glitter!
That's glitter.
What?
Oh my god, we solved the riddle!
Wait, so she's made of glitter?
She is glitter!
personified?
Is that where her robot skin has been worn off?
I want to see Terminator 4 with Mariah Carey from Glitter.
Yes.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger. All right, so here's the scene. This you get, and again, you get the taste of the chemistry that's going on between these two people. The love story for the ages. Here we go. So there you go. That's we don't know if they're going to get together, but they do.
And that was immediately after he had been saying the same thing to Padma Lakshmi, and then he discovers that Mariah Carey
Right.
was the one doing the singing.
Right, because they were basically like Terrence Howard kind of shit on her.
She
or
did
some-
like a storm off riff.
Yes.
Yeah.
But up until
He
that
was like,
point,
wait a minute.
Yeah.
up until that point, we had no idea she was angry or frustrated with her,
Right, 'cause
with
she didn't-
anything.
yeah.
She was
She
fine.
It's fine.
She was
Yeah.
fine with it. She was just living her life.
She was fine being like
Because she
like-
wasn't giving her best stuff.
She was saving it
Yeah.
for Dice, who his name is Dice in the movie. He also goes by Dice Man. I mean, how mad was Andrew Dice Clay when he sees this? That's his whole thing.
The Dice Man is. I just still don't understand how. Like, I guess now, like, who's a big DJ? Like Tiesto or like
Skrillex?
Like, yeah. Like, would you? But that guy.
What? He's a DJ.
Skrillex.
Did I say his
Like,
name
is
wrong? I don't
Skrillex
know.
Like
breaking like
one that
R&B
died?
performers?
But like a club owner, apparently like the manager of the club, the DJ of the club, also like
World famous record producer.
a big record producer and an artist manager.
who seems to have no other clients or hits
At all.
for that matter. Like, to me, the more believable story would be like, I've always wanted to
Yeah,
produce.
sure.
Right.
Trust me, and we'll get there. Instead of like setting him up as, I know you're the hottest producer in the world. He's not.
No.
Not at all.
He didn't even have a
obsessively
keyboard.
focused.
He has nothing. He has nothing except for that black tank top that he wears so much.
It's, it's true about the keyboard because
That was a beautiful scene.
he has an apartment filled with musical instruments, and then she gets him a shitty keyboard. It's like
That shitty Yamaha.
Yeah,
it's
Yamaha.
not very big at all. He's like, oh my god, you got me this.
And there's nothing more uncool than watching someone on an electric keyboard compose music.
Right.
He's like putting the beat on. He's like,
Oh, my favorite thing about him, though, is that he loves the marimba,
Yes.
which is, and Mariah Carey, when she first sees the marimba, is like, what is this, like some kindergarten thing? He's like, no, it's my favorite instrument, the marimba.
And that's where she gets all hot for him.
Yeah.
That's the moment,
That's the turning point.
is him
The whole-
playing this thing.
the whole movie is different people watching other people sing or perform the marimba and just being like, with no emotion or expression, just like, mm-hmm. Like, and then that person, and the next scene watching that same person, just like everyone's watching everyone and just loving their music making.
The one thing I did like that they kept with that marimba was like later on in the movie, not to jump ahead, but they, obviously they have a falling out, Mariah and Dice, and like he's composing, it's happening, guys. And he's composing his own music, but he's playing the marimba. Like he's making tracks with a marimba being the lead instrument. He's like, and showing the drummer how he's fucking up. Like, no, you're not doing
what
it
was
right.
the purpose of
that? Follow the marimba.
So weird.
Well, I really enjoyed their first date.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she was like, is this a date? What's going on? And then
so suspicious. Like she thought he was going to kill her or something.
But yet, she was also really excited about the date.
Yes.
Wait, looking out the window, she's like, ooh, a limo's here. Ooh, it's a date. She's like, it's not a date. But she's dressed for a date.
And then she's like, what's with these snails?
But she and her friends are all aflutter about this date. But the previous like 10 minutes of the movie was a montage of them spending all of their time together.
Yeah, it did not seem like this was out of the norm at all.
No, they're just going to go get dinner. Like they're always
they were
together.
holding hands on the street before that.
That might have been like a reshoot situation, where they had the
Like
rose thing
yeah.
at the end, not to jump to Madison Square Garden, and then they're
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, we got to set up that rose.
Right.
Let's all go back to Toronto.
But they accidentally dropped that scene in 20 minutes after they were supposed to.
They're
and
like,
just
you know what,
left it.
we're locked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also will say that, I don't know, this is, little things bug me, but it looked like that limo did not have a driver when it pulled up. It looked like he drove that limo to the date. Like, yeah, CMZ gave me this limo, but no driver. Get in the back.
Oh, that was one thing when he's talking about the record companies that are gonna be at the dance club to discover new artists. He says EMI, Warner Brothers, and CMZ are all gonna be here. It's like, oh, I wonder which one the movie's gonna end up using.
They do a bunch of great stuff like that. Like when she performs on Late Night Live, which is Saturday Night Live. They do a lot of switching that. But I also like when they go meet with CMZ. Like they come in, they go, "Oh, we're so glad you're here. You're signed." Like, well,
Right.
yeah, that you were coming in for the signing meeting, as
Right.
the champagne and the floor
Then they're
dictated.
like, the main boss can't be here. I was like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, there was.
Right.
She's kind of a big deal. Everyone should come meet her. Chili B is trying to sign her at the club.
But the night before that meeting, they see the label guys, and the guys are like, why don't you come in tomorrow and we'll sit down and chat? They're like, okay. Then they go in, and they're all drinking champagne and celebrating. But they never have that meeting where they decide that this is what right?
It almost seems like they walked in, and it's like, if they would have continued to take the rest of the meetings the rest of the day, they may have been signed at a different label. They just
Right.
first come, first serve. Like, hey, you're here, you're signed. What? Oh! We got you first. You would think that Mariah Carey at one point would just pipe up and go, actually, no, this is not how this business works. I know because I am a huge, gigantic star in this world. Like I have a little life experience. Like,
She was also married to a record, Tommy Mottola, who ran, so she definitely was like, oh, all of this is wrong, by the way.
but now
I'm Mariah Carey.
was this guy supposed to be Tommy Mottola?
I think so.
Because they were married. Tommy Mottola and her were married in '93, deteriorating by '95, and divorced in '98. And Mariah Carey called their house Sing Sing because he would never let her leave, and called their marriage a private hell.
Awesome.
I believe it.
Yeah, but this guy was pretty abusive to her, but also she kind of always liked him.
Yeah, and at the end, she's totally devastated when he's murdered for weird reasons.
Can we talk about his murder? Or not yet?
Yeah, why not? We could jump all the way around.
Because that really, when it got good for me, was when he was shot in the shoulder.
Yeah.
And then later they say he was shot in the chest.
Yeah.
We saw him get shot in the shoulder.
He also clearly went right into his shoulder, which he could have shot him in
Don't
the
touch
heart.
Casey.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
We're friends. But then, he could have got, but in the shoulder, The shoulder, that means he probably has bled to death on the street.
That, or unless it was cut out too early, it was a real violent ending. Like,
Yeah. Shot him 5 times, curbed him, and then ran back inside.
If you haven't seen the movie, basically what is going on is Terrence Howard sells Mariah Carey for $100,000, and it seems like she's making that money in spades at a
But
certain
Dice
point.
is just
She's
like,
a
I'm not
giant-
paying it.
Yeah.
Dice is not gonna.
He's not worried about it at all.
Yeah.
When Terrence Howard says it's $100,000, Dice is like, all right. But, like, we're supposed to get that he can't afford it, but he's a DJ, he's very popular, and he runs a record label, and he
I
owns
thought
the
he
things.
actually paid him off. I didn't think, like, when he said $100,000, like, oh, yeah, he paid
He
that.
seemed
Yeah.
fine with it at first.
Yeah, he was like, and then I was like, okay.
And then it was like, no, this is a problem.
And I didn't get that scene when Dice kind of confronts Terrence Howard. He's like, is there food in your fridge? He's like,
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
That was.
Yeah, and is he saying, like, you don't need $100,000?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Terrence Howard seemed to be like, good point.
Yes. No, he was. He was like, good point, but still, I would appreciate the money you owe me.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And then the scene when Terrence Howard came in and came behind Mariah Carey, she was in the house for like 40 minutes before she noticed that he was standing behind her.
Yeah,
she was
he's
like talking for so long to Dice in the other room, like, baby, we're going to do this and we're going to, but she turned around like 40 minutes after he'd been standing there.
Terrence is a creeper, man. He just hangs out.
yeah.
And then Dice beats the shit out of Terrence Howard.
Right.
And he's in the wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Dice is wrong. Like,
Yes.
this movie actually proves to me as it goes on, like, oh, I'm glad she's not with Dice. Dice is not the right girl.
Dice is a
guy
horrible
for Billy
person.
Frank.
Yeah.
Dice is a horrible person. He could
He
also,
called her friend a fat ass, and he called the other one something.
Oh, let me show that scene. This is a. Obviously Dice is on the way out, and just one point to make here is like when Dice is on the way out, they also kick out DeBrat and Roxy.
Yeah.
They get them out too, and we continue to check in with her 2 friends. But they don't seem to have any career ambitions.
No.
Like, where are they? What are
No.
they doing? Are they just still dancing?
And when they kick them out, when they're shooting the music video, they're like, oh, we got to get rid of them. Then they cut to the 2 friends, and one of the 2 friends, DeBrat's like, fuck this, and she walks out right before they go and fire. Like, why would you choose a shot of her walking off set?
Yeah. Before the big reveal of, we're making you fire your best friend.
Right.
And that music video scene, by the way.
Oh, man.
It's
It's
like a-
very long.
everything about this movie is very long.
Yes.
The director is quoted as saying that was the funniest scene in the movie. And that he loved that guy. He loved, he just loved that actor. It's like a scene, like it's like Juan Pablo from The Bachelor is directing a
Yeah.
music video. And he makes them replace the hot girls with like naked men. And he's German.
Yes.
And it's weird.
And it's not any more ridiculous than it was before. It's just slightly different.
Yeah, and those girls were not bad. But yeah, they're like,
No.
it's his vision. It's his vision. It's like, again, this is not how this industry works.
At
A
all.
director would have like a storyboard. He wouldn't be like, oh wait, she brought her own backup dancers? Oh shit, I got a whole different plan for this
Right.
music video. Like, it doesn't just change instantly. Like, you
Right.
just can't do that on the fly. But it seemed like, oh no, we changed the whole music video in 5 minutes. We got him out. Anyway, Dice is upset, and
They're like, this guy's a really hot director. You have to do
You
what
gotta
he
listen
says.
to this German director.
This is after
Check
Eric
him out.
Benet has come on the scene.
Yes, Eric Benet's on the scene. Dice is jealous, and this is where he lashes out against our 2 friends.
And also no limo driver in that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, no limo driver.
They couldn't afford anyone to say, okay.
Did he call her a roach bag? Yeah. That's like a term you might like call a bad apartment, but a human being
Paul.
means that like roaches live on her.
Again,
Paul.
that wasn't an 80s outfit. Like, I think that
No.
was like pure like 1991, 1993,
Well,
cross
that-
colors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know
The
if anyone
Brat was
could-
wearing the clothes that the Brat wore on tour with Criss Cross.
Everybody brought their own wardrobe.
I have written down here, does she want to be a singer? Is she interested in the music business?
Well, also,
There's
that's
no
a
way
good
of knowing.
question because I feel like we're following. It's like this new young 45-year-old upstart, and I would like to segue just into Mariah herself.
Yeah, please.
Sure.
If we
I think
could.
that's yes.
Yeah, she...
Thoughts? Comments? Concerns?
Mariah is an interesting character in this,
Yeah.
obviously, because she doesn't really have a passion.
Wait, in real life or
No,
in this
no,
movie?
no, in
Oh.
the movie. Sorry, I should say Billy Franks. The character Billy Franks, who is Mariah, a.k.a. Mariah. Yeah, she's an odd character, very passive character.
Yeah, you can't tell if she's
Coming or going?
annoyed, thrilled,
In
shy,
love?
Every
angry.
expression looks like she's about to laugh. She's like,
Yeah.
it's like, is the laugh coming or is it sad? Or
Well,
is
that's
it...
it. That's also her cry face, because her
Yeah.
cry face is like, just like it's never going to get there.
I will admit, in the scene where she was asking about her mom, when she suddenly decided to go try to find her mom,
Yeah.
I felt for her.
Wow.
I did. I
Really?
thought she handled that scene pretty well when she put the glasses on. And I know nobody wants to hear it, but I don't know if I'm overly emotional about my period, but I didn't mind that scene, the acting.
I want to hear it.
I thought that was a nice
Well, it
way
was
to
Mariah
really turn the
Carey.
crowd off.
It's Mariah Carey, starring in this movie. So she had like an acting coach like on set who was just like, by the side, just being like, "You were fucking killing this.
Yeah.
You are doing this." And DeBrat's looking at her like, "Yeah, we're fucking doing this, Mariah."
Yeah.
Okay, but let me ask, did anyone see Mariah in Precious?
No.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought
Oh,
she
yeah.
was pretty
Wait, you
good.
saw
she was
Glitter?
fine.
I didn't see Precious.
I
Yeah.
got confused for a second. Yes, I did.
They're so similar.
I saw it and I loved it. It was great.
I'll get off this. I mean, look, she's not great. I'm just trying to give a little something.
I kind of.
Did you
I
see
was,
her in The Butler?
Was she in the
I
Butler?
did not see The Butler. I'm sorry. I didn't.
She was in The Butler?
Wasn't she? No, she was. Yeah, I know. It's
How many
fucking
people
so
saw The
crazy.
Butler?
Not
See,
one
if
person.
everyone,
I want to see The Butler.
if everyone saw The Butler and I said that, hilarious applause break. But everyone's like, I don't think I saw that.
I was trying to pinpoint, I was trying to figure out, does it look like, is it as if she just walked in off the street and they're like, "You're shooting a movie," and threw her into a scene and she had to, and that's not it, because she seems
relaxed.
Definitely she knows what she's
She's not
supposed
checked
to be
out.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's there. She's somewhat engaged, but it's also, is it over-prepared? No.
No.
It's some weird thing where
She
she's,
seems drugged. Heavily
Yeah.
medicated.
Lots
That's
of Xanax.
medicated is
Lots
a good
of
word.
Xanax.
Completely medicated.
You're right that it seems like she's on the verge of laughing. Maybe the director was like, let's just keep it loose. Look, forget about the words.
But
Let's just play. And so she's like, okay, let's play. But she just kind of locked into this weird thing.
It is an odd choice because I feel like even her stage persona, her stage persona as a singer is similar to her stage persona in this as an actor, which is very sultry. Sultry doesn't translate as a thing.
Right.
I don't think.
And is her stage persona in the movie different than her stage? Because I was trying to think of as a performer in real life, Mariah Carey. She's a good performer, right? I would imagine she's a good performer.
Yeah,
so.
but she doesn't have stage
Tough
presence.
crowd.
jeez.
Yes.
No,
It's
she's
Mariah
not.
Carey.
singer.
She could stand on a stage and sing, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Way
But
to
she's
go."
not like she's
Yeah,
not gonna run
Dan.
around
She
and
can
do
stand on a
jokes
stage and
stuff.
sing.
Right.
She's Mariah
I
Carey.
don't know why I'm taking up Mariah's cause.
I will say
But
that.
I will. Okay.
I will say about Mariah Carey, and this may be, I don't know why I noticed this, but when they had their first sex scene, Dice and Mariah behind, a weird, frosted glass window, it looked to me, and I could be wrong, that when he took off her clothes, she was wearing just tighty whities. Is I right about that? A very, granny panty?
And
I
he
like,
was naked.
Yeah, he was naked, and she had, granny panties on. And I'm thinking, if I'm Mariah Carey and I'm behind frosted glass, I'm going to make it a little bit more sexy than that.
Right.
Unless it's that she really didn't think it was a date. She would have worn better underwear.
And as a movie, when you're shooting a sex scene, you should at least maybe flesh colored or something, just so it looks like they're naked.
But
Yeah.
that
No.
might have
I
been
can't
that
get
might
a
be a Mariah
White.
Carey. That might be a Mariah Carey thing in real life.
I can't
she
get a
might be
handle on her body.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to just get your eyes on it.
It's true.
It's hard to understand it. And I say that with love.
But just to be clear, she did have a full breakdown after this movie came out, right?
Yes. This is when she went on TRL and was like babbling incoherently.
Yeah.
I don't blame her.
And then
If you guys
gotta
watch
say.
the dailies of this, you might go crazy too.
yeah.
I'm right there with her. Like,
But-
I'm sure she was like, she has to go around the world and promote this movie, and she's like, Jesus Christ.
Well,
Can't we just let it go?
you know
Because
what
she's
happened?
obviously like smart and has it in her to be good in a movie because she really was good in Precious, right? So
she
she was
was,
probably
but
just
no,
like,
10 years
for
later.
sure.
Maybe, yeah.
It's a tough crowd. They got mad when I said Skrillex wrong.
They really do not. This crowd does not want to give it for Mariah at all. I do want to also talk about like the only like real difference is like her hair straightens as she gets more famous. That's a big thing, and she's just constantly in different gowns, and she's doing a lot of wardrobe changes in this. She dresses like MC Scat Cat in the beginning of the movie, and then becomes like a very graceful.
it's like MC Scat Cat and Lance Armstrong mixed together.
Now Dice makes the very cool choice of at the whatever it is the the USA Music Awards.
USA Music Awards.
That's the best part. She's in the limo, and they're like, "Hey, we just got a call. You have to perform at the USA Music Awards."
What?
We're turning the limo around right now.
Yeah.
And they turn it around. She shows up like, "Oh, wait, get on stage, sing your song."
And that's when she's like, can someone call Dice? She could never get called Dice herself. She's always like, can someone call Dice?
There needed to be some explanation, like why right now. You know,
That
like
never happened.
that never happens. MC Hammer was murdered right now.
It's like, get there, go perform. Like that all happened within like 3 hours. But Dice did and like, oh, you think like, oh, they're blowing off Dice. Like, Dice can't make it. Dice can't make it. But then he was there at the American Music Awards in his open black T-shirt, where apparently Lionel Richie has swept the awards because everything was like Lionel Richie. Like it's like the whole movie is told through like bad news reporter footage. Like today, Lionel Richie won a bunch of awards here. And then when they
Every
leave,
major plot point is just a newscast.
Yeah.
the newscaster delivers all the important information.
Well, speaking of, Mariah's acting, the last newscaster when reporting on Dice's murder, that was really just her going,
Not as great.
and then a bunch of people in big suits going, we're really sorry.
And also the room they're in backstage at Madison Square Garden is literally, it looks like a room at a
Hyatt.
Like a Hyatt with kind of an Asian flair.
I was gonna say it looked like
weird.
a low budget James Bond villain.
Yes.
And by the way, all right. So you see that Dice gets shot, and then she's like, "Where is Billy Franks? Where is she?" She's like, "It seems like it's like 8:05."
Why was Billy late if she didn't know that he was shot?
She has, so
Right.
you don't know why
Growing up
she's
in press,
late.
like, he was shot.
Like, so she's like, everyone's bad at their job because like she shows up like 5 minutes late to her own concert, not knowing that not knowing that Dice was shot,
right?
And just happens to see the news report and then does the show. It's like, really,
And
I was happy with that.
And the fact that the New York City Toronto News reports on that murder immediately is impressive.
Yeah.
Someone's murdered. Get the camera crew.
But it's also, there's the time she goes to Dice's apartment right before that big show, and he's not there. She just wants to like
Tinker on the ivories.
feel him in the ivories.
Yeah, because she realizes that even though he's abusive and mean, she loves him.
She loves
Did she
him.
at a piano or was she at the Yamaha?
She was at that real piano.
The real
I think.
But then I was like, but why not at the Yamaha?
Right.
After all
Then
this-
my
She
question
gave it
is,
to him.
Yeah.
I bet
why
you,
give him a Yamaha if he had a real piano?
And why was he so fucking psyched about the Yamaha?
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, the props guy, I can't imagine that the crew was, together on this movie. I'm sure they got to that scene, they're like, oh, where's the Yamaha? And he's like, oh, I brought it to this other fucking movie. Just have her play the piano. They're like, all right, action.
Power
That's
Rangers
right.
are shooting down the block, and they needed it for a scene.
I really did look for the Yamaha in that. I did not see it in that scene. It just was nowhere to be found.
He probably destroyed it after they broke up. Like, I hate this Yamaha. Casey, I think you're going to get to the point that you're talking about, maybe the continuity thing, right? Was it?
Yes.
Well, please bring it up, and then I want to show you something.
Well, just many continuity issues throughout. It seemed some lipstick when she kisses the music note. It just seems very off to me, but maybe I'm.
When he finds it later, it looks completely different.
Oh, well the thing I was noticing was that when she first comes there, she sees a picture of them, and it's them, like, it's like him, like, hey!
Yeah.
And she's like, I love you!
Yeah. In front of a brick wall.
In front of a brick wall. And
They were at the Improv.
and then as she writes her note, they fade back down to that picture, and it's a completely different
It's
picture.
them kissing.
It's them kissing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people go, oh, that is a continuity problem. Thankfully, there's a director's commentary track. And
Oh, wow.
Did you watch it with the commentary?
I have clips of the commentary
God
track.
damn it.
Yes. So, and the commentary track, this is one of the best commentary. Like, if you have the means, buy the DVD for 98 cents on Amazon and enjoy this commentary because it's full of chunks and little things like this. So here we go. Magical realism.
What?
For those of you who did not know what was happening, magical realism.
Wow. Wow.
But they like
That
That
is
made me feel really
something.
sad.
I feel like he was making that up as he went along.
I think this was the
He was
first
singing for
time
the
he
first
saw the
time.
movie.
Yeah, he's like, oh, God, yes.
What the
yes.
fuck did I do?
There was something else that happened right there that I was going to point
Oh,
out,
yes.
and
Oh,
it's right at the end
I think this
of
is
that.
might be the thing. Yeah, please, because I think I have an issue with this
She's
too.
walking out and he's walking in.
Yes.
And it's supposed to be one of those near misses, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But it's literally they would have seen each other. They would have just been like, oh hey Dice, I was just in your
like
place.
he would've- like, now here's my issue with it, and I'll turn on the volume on it. Like, but the idea is she's walking. The mattress is breaking them up, right?
Yeah, that's
So my thought is when the mattress clears frame, there should be Dice. He shouldn't be coming in from the side of frame. Like if you're a director, you'd be like, oh, she doesn't see him because he's over here.
No.
But no, he's just over
No,
there.
he's
Yeah.
going the same direction as the
going-
mattress.
Yeah, in the same mattress direction.
That's
Definitely, yeah.
magical realism.
Yeah.
Right there.
She definitely would have like seen him, like as
Oh,
she was
yeah.
like turning around, being like, "Oh, Dice!" I
He
was
would have
just
been like,
at your
"Oh, hey."
piano, where's your Yamaha?" You know,
There's a bunch of
it's missing.
the one thing I just wanted to again, little things that get caught in my mind that I feel like it's worthy of talking about is when she goes on Saturday Night Live, and I want to just applaud the sketch that was happening on Saturday Night Live.
Do you have it?
I do not, unfortunately. The blow dryer briefcase sketch. So she's like getting ready again, very late. Like they're like, okay, Billy, you're on in like 4 minutes, and she's just arriving at SNL. Like there was no rehearsal time. There's nothing. Like she's being ushered in moments before her performance.
Terrible
That's her whole-
management
yeah.
all around, publicist, everything. No one
That-
gets her
The
anywhere in
publicist.
Come on,
enough time.
that's her whole
Yeah.
career.
The publicist is working hard.
Her whole career is like, "We got to go now. You're on in 5."
Yeah.
And then she's like, call Dice.
But yeah, the blow dryer briefcase is one of my favorite scenes. But here's actually a little thing about that. The publicist character was supposed to have a thick Swiss/German accent,
Like all publicists.
but the studio felt that since this was the 80s, the accent wouldn't work in tandem with the costumes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's the problem. That's the problem with this movie, the publicist accent.
I'm glad the studio was choosing to micromanage things like that and just let the big picture
Yeah.
stay as it was.
Other little things from the commentary track that I just realized I have this page here. Max Beasley's the guy who you worked with in the great film Torque, led the way for Fast and Furious films.
Yes.
He toured with George Michael and Jamiroquai.
Oh, like as a singer-dancer?
I guess as a marimba player, drums and piano. I mean, he toured with them. I mean, he
Wow.
plays drums and piano.
Super nice,
Sure.
very cool guy.
Let's say
by the
he's
way.
touring with Jamiroquai and George Michael. The talented dude.
Has to be cool.
Yeah. And then this is another funny thing from the commentary track. The director originally didn't want to do the movie because he wasn't interested in working with singers. He wanted to work with actors. But after he saw Mariah Carey's audition tape for Shaft, he signed on to direct.
For the Samuel L. Jackson
Yes.
Shaft.
Mariah Carey did not get that part.
Everyone
But
else
it
was
was
like,
the-
oh.
And
Wow.
and then this is one more little fact. Just another fact. The director of Glitter thought that one of the funniest scenes in the movie was the music video shoot. The director is making her wear a bikini. Apparently, the intent of the scene is that the director English was his second language, and his vision was getting lost in the translation. That was the game of the scene that we might not have gotten.
Whoa.
I actually figured that out.
So just some little tips that you might get in there.
Man.
It's pretty great.
What happened to Eric Benet? I'm like, did I forget how that ended with her
He just
and him?
faded away.
faded away.
Eric Benet, basically everyone was like, Dice is bad for you. You need to team up with Eric Benet. Dice is like...
But I love the world in which Dice is like an abuser and a womanizer, and Eric Benet is the saint.
Yeah. Yeah, they recorded a duo, a song that became number one. She played Madison Square Garden. Bye. See you later. He's done. He served his purpose.
See you later.
See you later, Eric Benet. Well, let's go to the audience because we have a couple more clips, but let's go to the audience here and see if there's anything that we might have missed. So let's get these house lights up. All right. Oh, we got a lot of hands. All right, already. All right, let's see. Let's see what people are saying. All right, I'm going to go to you first. What is your name? What would you have called Billy Franks? What would you have given her the name of? And your question.
My name is Cora. I would have given her the name Seductive Sultress.
Ooh, nice. I like that.
And my question is, when you were listening to the commentary, did they say anything about Mariah Carey's cats?
Great question.
That cat lived a long time.
Yeah. The cat went away for a majority of the movie.
An hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then on the stairwell, I'm like, is that the same cat?
Well, they make a big deal out of it because she has the cat as a child, but then when she breaks up with Dice, you see her like grabbing the cat and leaving.
Like, and I'm taking this cat with me. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, you're like,
How
oh
did
yeah,
I
that's
miss-
the cat. Like, I fucking forgot about that stupid cat.
when she
How
went
did
into
I
the-
miss the cat entirely?
When she went into the
Because
orphanage.
you wouldn't
Yeah.
know it. Because the cat really is barely in the movie, but is grabbed as an exclamation point when she storms out of Dice's apartment. She's like, and I'm taking the cat.
Yeah.
And the cat's head is just in her hands. It's a nice two-shot.
To be fair, the cat is in the first 40 seconds of the movie.
Apparently Mariah didn't like working with the cat. So, yes, your name, what you would have called Mariah Carey's character, and your question.
Yeah, my name's Carrie. I would have called her character Beige.
She is a beige woman. She's like khaki. She's a khaki woman.
Well, it wasn't so much about like skin. Well, costuming was definitely part of it, but it was just more her general attitude towards the movie.
Ooh, interesting. I like that.
So the beginning is a flashback scene, and then at the end of the flashback scene, we get the transition that's like the whoosh, and then it's supposed to be in the present, but no, it's still in the past. And then there's another scene, whoosh, still in the past.
Yes.
Still, this goes on for like 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
me
it's just
too.
really... Well, we haven't talked about transitions.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for transitions.
It's a lot of that, like, raving type of stuff throughout the entire
Well, let's
movie.
just talk about the fireworks. That's a ballsy move for any filmmaker. Be
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's put some fireworks in this one transition scene.
There were several times, they weren't exactly transitions, but there were just times when the scene would speed up.
Yeah, that...
And it was just because these stupid, shitty, terrible shots they were getting were taking too long, so they had to speed them up, right?
Yes, like
That's
when
what they were
Terrence
doing?
Howard and Dice were walking through the bar, and then it just was like in 3 phases.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like they sped that stuff up, but again, like the first part of the movie
Right,
is
it's so
55
long.
minutes long.
All right, ma'am, your name, what you think a name of a song title that Dice produced was, and your question.
My name is Valeska.
Nice to meet you. What's a song title that Dice might have made? Like, I would be like, Rub It Down. That would be the title. What would be just any title of a song that Dice might have been producing?
Oh my gosh.
Unzip it.
Someone putting
Let's
you
make
way on
it
the spot.
real.
I'm really making you. What do you think? Anything?
I can't think of anything.
That's a good title. Can't think of. All right, what's your question?
There was a part when after they went to bed together the first time,
Made love.
she was saying,
When they fucked.
she said, I don't generally do this. And then he was really mean, and he said, oh, I can tell.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. He said, I can tell, and then she gave him an absolutely blank look. And he said, I'm just kidding. She gave him another blank look, and then the scene ended.
All right, sir. Your name, your song title, a Dice-produced song track, or Billy Frank's alternate name, and your question.
All right, my name is Brian. My dice song is Trouble in Paradise.
Whoa! Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very good.
And there's a scene halfway through the movie where it's shortly after she tries to find her mother, and then she finds a homeless woman on the street.
Thank you. Thank you for
who
bringing
looks
this up.
identical to her mother, looks at her, and then just walks away, and then nothing happens.
That's a good point. We were talking about this backstage. What do you think happened there?
Was it a dream?
Because why wouldn't you at least stop her? Right? Like you would.
Magical realism, I'm hearing.
Magical realism. All right, yes. When in doubt, it's magical realism. I'm gonna come over here. All right. Your name, your dice song track, and your question.
My name is Erica. My dice song track is Going Braless, because there was a lot of braless moments. My question is, if you notice, and if you know this about Mariah, she only likes to be photographed from her right side. And there's, I think, one scene in the movie where the director got her left side. Does it say anything in the commentary of how long he had to talk to her to get her to shoot from her bad side?
Ooh, that's a no. In the commentary track, he is effusive about every actor except for Mariah Carey.
Really?
He's not mean about her, but he's diplomatic.
Really?
Yes. So that speaks volumes. All right, let's see. I'm going to see what your question is. All right. Your name, your dice track, and here we go.
My name's Tony. Of course, the dice track has to be Dice Dice Baby.
Nice. Respect.
I'm very surprised that the studio made a casting choice based on it being an 80s movie because there's so little reason for it to take place in the 80s. I could have sworn it was added in post.
Well, we talked about that. Yeah, it could have been there is not. Like, she's not an 80s singer by any means.
I know. I was just waiting for Dice to do a bunch of coke. That would have been like such the easy thing. Like, it's the 80s, Dice. Just do coke in every scene. All right, okay.
Yeah,
Dice
what
off
is
the
this?
Yamaha.
Yeah.
There are two things.
Put coke everywhere. Like, all right,
What's
now
the
it's
movie
80s.
rated? Like PG-13?
PG-13, yeah.
Oh, that's what
So
it's
they couldn't do
coke.
coke.
Well, I would say this.
But they
though,
could say
That's
you're
why
a fat ass.
the mom was a smoking addict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like two things that upset me about it. Number one, like I go into this movie and I think, well, at least there'll be some great Mariah Carey songs.
Not a one.
Not a one.
No, they're all terrible.
Songs.
Just
They
fake
all
bad
sound exactly
songs.
the same. They're all so breathy and short. You don't even get.
Yeah.
You don't get a real Mariah performance.
Not
Hopeless
that I want
garbage.
it, but you don't get it.
I was waiting for it. Just kept on hearing that stupid Silk song over and over again.
Yeah.
Like,
This movie actually made me really happy that Gwen Stefani didn't try her hand at acting. Like, I actually have more respect for her. I was like, you know what? You did it right. Because Gwen Stefani could have done this, but she said, no, I'm a fucking singer.
Yeah.
What, do you have a
I
question?
saw her kids in Ralph's last weekend.
I'm sure she's raising them with the same smartness that she did when she probably turned down her movie of glitter.
No, she wasn't there. There was someone else with their kids.
Oh my gosh, you have a notebook? All right, here's your question.
I actually have a song title as well. It would have been Honey, You've Got a Bunch of Ass, or whatever he says in the limo.
I
Oh.
like it.
Yeah, but my question is, she was trying to find her mom for so long, but she knew who her real dad was. Why didn't she ever try and find her dad? Like the whole time?
Well, the dad
Ooh.
abandoned her, though. I mean,
Yeah.
that was it. Or the dad didn't want anything to do with her. The mom, it seems weird because the mom seemed to give her up without any issue. I guess they both abandoned
I have
I
one
think the
question
mom
about
was
Dad?
just like, look, I'm a smoker. I can't raise you.
How come the mom, you know Mariah's biggest dream, and it sounds silly, but it was for the mom to be sitting in the audience and be proud of her?
Yeah.
How come Billy Billy's dream for her at the end wasn't that the mom was at Madison Square Garden.
No
it was like,
shit.
gotta go see mom in Maryland.
Well, by the way, Billy's letter at the end of the movie, we haven't even gotten into that.
Yeah.
The best thing Billy is now dead. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Dice's letter. Dice's letter.
Sorry,
Dice
Dice.
is not, yeah, sorry.
Dice has been shot to death.
But luckily,
On the streets.
luckily he went to Madison Square Garden, dropped off a handwritten letter and one rose, and wrote a letter that it would explain everything, just in case he was shot. Like he basically was like, "So sorry we fought. I love you too. By the way, found out about your mom. Here's where she lives. Gotta go. See you after the show. Bye bye." Like. Save some of that for after the show. Like, hey, great job. By the way, I found your mom. Like, you don't have to put that all in the letter.
P.S. I feel like I might get shot tonight.
Wait, how does she know who her dad is?
Because in the beginning, they go to that guy's house and knocks on the door. Remember? They get
He
that
handed
money.
the money.
Oh, yeah.
Which also brings...
Was the mom just recently fired?
No, she was on fire.
No. She did. She said, I just got fired.
I didn't know if that was real.
I think she was
or...
lying because she's an addict of smoking.
Right.
She needed money for cigarettes.
Again, and I'm so sorry to bring it up, and it's not to be funny. I'm genuinely asking, why didn't Dice bring the mom to Madison Square Garden? Like, they had an attempt at a kind of a nice
Casey,
ending.
we don't know.
Okay.
But wait,
We'll never know.
Great answer. Let it go.
Wouldn't it have been a great ending if he was like on the phone. He's like, yes, she's performing tonight. I'll come pick you up. All right, I'll be right there. And then Terrence Howard's like, bam. Like, that would have been more fulfilling as like a moment.
There is no connective tissue in this movie.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Just the cat.
I was looking for
is
it.
connected.
All right, yes, your
That's
question.
my
You have
fault.
the notebook. The notebook is open. There's many things in there. Thoughts are in there. All right, your name, your song title, your question. Go.
Okay, my name's Maria. My Dice song title would be Elton John Lookalike, because there's definitely a scene in the club where I thought he was Elton John for like the full scene, because he looks exactly like him. It doesn't take
Dice looks like Elton John?
just like him. He's got like the round glasses, and he's just kind of sitting, chilling. He doesn't say anything. I thought they got Elton John for the movie, and I got excited for a second.
Wait,
All right.
Dice has round glasses?
I don't remember this scene, but
One scene, and only one.
she's got a notebook, so I believe her.
Okay.
I feel like she paid more
All right,
attention
here's
to
your-
any of us.
The three of us are.
So it's always great when they can manage to work in the title of the movie into a line, and that happens during that excellent music video scene when the director says, "The glitter cannot overpower the artist," which I feel like the screenwriter wrote that line and sat back and was like, nailed it.
He was like, done for the day.
Yep.
I just saved the cat.
And he's like, I was going to have the mom come in Madison Square Garden, not anymore.
He got real lazy. Let's see. Who has a good question? There's so many great questions. I don't even, the wealth of great ones. I'm going to ask you because here's my question. All right. So your name, your song title, your question. Here we go.
All right. My name is Paul. My song title, no, the album, I'd probably call it Song in the Key of Yamaha.
Ooh, I like that.
And then what gets me is, all right, when you get into the movie and they do put what year it is, it says 1983. And then the ticket on there says she's performing in, and it's dated in July. So she got famous and all that stuff in 6 months, and then she was told that she had to change her sound. She hadn't even put out an album yet.
That's a very good point. Yeah, she had just basically had a single. And you got to change it. People are sick of this single. All right.
It got bumped to the second on the charts.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
All right, your name, your song title, and your question.
My name is Daphne, and my song title would be Roach Motel.
Nice. Roach Bag Motel.
That too. My question is, well, it's not really a question, but...
Forget it. Bye. No, what do you got?
Okay, during the scene where they've broken up, and there's a montage where each of them are writing their own song, but the director cleverly made it look like they were writing the same song. He's playing the music, and she's like singing the lyrics. Magical realism? I think so.
Everything is now could be. All right, I'm going to come to you. You seem the most excited about asking a question. Stand up and come closer to me. Here we go. All right. Your name, your song title, and your question.
Hi, my name is Ashika. My song...
Made up.
That could be Billy Frank's name.
Could be. I like that.
My song title would be, I don't know, Party Like It's 1993, because that seemed like the actual date this movie.
Like it, all right.
And my question is, can we talk about Dice's accent? What was?
Good question. Yeah. What do you think? Where do you think he's from?
Well, I guess since Adam knows him, is he not American? Like
He's
is he-
British.
He's British.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But that doesn't explain the accent, because it was kind of like
He's like a New York.
A lot of
New
British,
York guy.
when British people do American accents, they feel like they take like a Robert De Niro-y kind of like a thing. Yeah.
Hey,
Don't
Billy.
fucking.
Yeah.
One more question. There's so many good ones. I can go to the
Like
back.
Lucky 7.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You have a good question? You think you have a good question? Who has a good question? Really have a good question. All right, you do. All right, I think, all right.
Did someone say no when you asked if they had a
I
good
think
question?
so. He was
People put their hands
Honestly, no.
hands go down.
I'll sit back
It is
down.
a great thing.
That honestly.
You make everybody think about it. Who's
There's
got
no bad questions because we only have bad answers.
All right, here we go. Your name, song title, question.
Okay. My name is Naomi. My song title would be I'll Only Kiss You Twice. And
Ooh.
That's terrific.
they only kiss twice in the whole movie. And the lyrics to the song that she's singing about her mom are, you could have had the decency to give me up before you gave me life.
Oh.
So that's not so much a question as a terrible downer.
But it's worthy of talking about because I felt like the mom was very, good with her. I mean, she made sure she went to a bar where they served milk in shot glasses.
Then she forced her on the stage to sing.
Yeah.
And then she burnt down her house.
Well, obviously they reunite. Obviously they reunited, and I want to show the director's commentary track for the reunition.
I just wanted to say real
please.
quick, there's that scene when they're in the cab and the song comes on the radio for the first time.
Yes.
And they're like, get it. He's like, you gotta get, he gets out of the cab. It's so confusing. It's like, oh, so you haven't been on the radio yet? Okay.
Their success level is so unclear through the
makes
whole
no
movie.
sense.
Well, he runs out of the cab, grabs a homeless person, hugs him. That was the first
And
stop.
then she's like, give me change. She keeps asking him for something. I don't know what she's talking about. And he gives her a couple quarters. She runs over to the phone booth, and there's a little kid making a phone call, like a 9-year-old just chatting on the phone.
Yeah.
They're like, please, just she's on the radio right now. Let us have the phone. And he's like, he gives them the phone. And then he says, she's on the radio. Can I get her autograph? And Dice said, I don't got a pen, baby. And the kid goes away.
But the way the movie goes, it would have made more sense if Dice was like, "Hey, the radio called. They need you to be over at the radio station to sing the single right now because it's popular."
Totally. So, all right, here is let's check in with the end of the movie so we can kind of get the idea of what you dummies missed, because clearly there's a lot of symbolism here that none of you got. So Mariah Carey takes her limo all the way to Maryland to her mom's house, and her mom recognizes her immediately. So her mom is very aware of Billy Franks, I would imagine. Okay, here we go.
She's been famous for 6 months.
So does he ever once during the commentary track just say, look.
This is the last one I will be doing.
I'm sorry.
And then you hear a gunshot.
He did do it with a gun in his mouth the entire time.
The mom looks completely she's completely kicked her cigarette habit.
Yeah.
And it's like
It has a nice
Geneva
house.
commercial.
Yeah.
The end, it's a very nice house. It just seems sort of
Well, to me, again, the more compelling ending is that she gets her mom off the street. Her mom is rebounded in a great way.
Her mom's doing great.
She seems great. So her mom completely rebounded. She's got her shit together and just
got a
never,
headband on.
just never.
She's in the country.
Tried to get in touch with her daughter.
Right.
So the mom's also a horrible person.
Yeah.
Her mom's
way
bad.
worse.
All right, so obviously we had an opinion about this movie, but there are other people out there who had a different opinion. It is now time for second opinions. These are 5-star reviews of the film Glitter from Amazon. And this one was written, the
From
title
Mariah
is
Carey.
called Stellar! Glitter Shines Brightly. Did half of the negative reviewers of this film even see the same film as I did? I saw Glitter starring Mariah Carey and Max Beasley. Is there another film by the same title that I don't know about? People, it's not as bad as you think. It's actually good. Personally, I think Glitter will do better with a DVD release because it should have gone straight to DVD. But all in all, an excellent and entertaining movie. Even the plot and dialogue are not bad. 5 stars.
5 stars.
I.e., quote, fat ass.
This one is written by Gletta Richardson, and she titles it Sunshine. And now, sometimes when you read Amazon reviews, they are not in the best English. So, bear with me. Every day I had this movie on VHS, I watched it so much, it stopped working. So I'm glad I don't have to worry about this DVD not working. That's why I found it. I had to hurry and purchase it. Now I'm happy. 5 stars. This one is called You'll
I feel
Laugh.
bad for that one.
This one is called You'll Laugh, You'll Cry, You'll Cheer. If it, yep,
Cheer?
Yep. If it weren't for Moulin Rouge, this could be the greatest musical of all time. It's not even technically a musical.
They're barely singing in this movie.
I think people have it all wrong when it comes to Glitter. It's a fantastic movie and a gritty drama about a biracial singer who climbs to the top. Mariah isn't as good of an actress as Nicole Kidman, but she's getting there.
Guys, I wrote
True,
this one.
and it is true.
I wrote this one.
I thought this sounded like you, Casey.
It also has Eric Benet, who used to be married to Halle Berry, who is the world's most talented actress.
Wait, that part doesn't make sense regarding Glitter.
Don't listen to the dumb haters who trash this movie. They're a bunch of snot-nosed 15-year-olds who never even watched the DVD, but spent hours listening to Limp Bizkit. Yuck! Anyhow, this movie's a masterpiece. Trust me.
That is my favorite movie review of all time.
And this one, I'm putting it in just because I don't understand it. This is by Mr. E.S.M. Moshaya. This movie deserves 5 stars as it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. I really think all the people should wake up. I mean, of all the modern technologies, people are taking it for granted. If this movie came out 10 years ago, it would have won an Oscar.
10 years ago?
What?
Yeah, so... if
Modern
this movie-
technologies?
I don't know what the modern technologies rant in the middle was.
What movie won Best Oscar 10 years ago? Someone should tell us that.
Yeah, we should Google. Anyone pull out your phone and Google what won in 91. All right, so any final thoughts, guys? Anything that we didn't cover? What was it?
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. Well, that would have been a tough year.
Tough category.
And then what won in 2001? What beat
What won in
Glitter?
2001?
What beat Glitter?
Or 2002 it should be. Beautiful Mind. That's a tough one. That was a tough year.
The winner is, Beautiful Minds.
Glee.
I would recommend
Verizon
this.
Mental
I mean,
Hospital.
this is
yes.
fun. This is a good one to watch.
100%. Super fun to watch. And like I said, get that DVD and watch that commentary track.
I'm going to.
The director has no conception of what he has done, except for create a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Well, usually they do commentary before the movie's actually released. So he probably did it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That is extremely the case in From Justin to Kelly. They recorded it right after they wrapped, and they are consistently talking about, oh my God, when people see this, they're gonna go nuts.
Fantastic.
They're gonna love this. Oh my God, they're reveling in the gigantic success, the Grease-like
anyone
stature
that likes their
movie-
own work in general is just such an asshole. So it's just I don't actually feel that bad.
It is. I think the director should have said at the end, "And you're welcome."
Yeah.
He did create a masterpiece of sorts. So you would recommend watching it, right?
Of course, of course.
Oh yeah, I definitely would watch this movie over and over again.
Well, I think that's it. We have done glitter. We have done it up. Please give it up for our amazing panel. Yay. Adam Scott, Tracy Wilson, Dan Levy. Give it up for all of them. And watch all their amazing shows. Mulaney, when does Mulaney premiere?
October 5th.
When does Marry Me start up?
October 14th.
And when does Parks and Rec come back?
I don't know.
All right. Very exciting.